waiting for. Today we are talking about Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator situation, Matt Eberflus, and the long list of the possible replacement if the Cowboys decided to move on. This is not short conversation. This is a deep conversation. We are going to break down why Matt Eberflus should be fired and why the Cowboys cannot afford to get this hire wrong again, and who could realistically replace him. We will also talk about philosophy of leadership and what this defense actually needs moving forward. By the end of this story, you will understand why this coaching decision may be one of the most important decisions the Cowboys make in the next several years. Let's start with the hard truth. Matt Eberflus' experiment did not work. The defense has not improved. In many ways, it has regressed. The Cowboys defense lacks identity. One week they play aggressive, the next week they play passive. One drive they look disciplined, the next drive they miss tackles and blow coverage. The inconsistency is coaching problem. Great defensive know who they are. They know what they do well. They know how to adjust when offenses attack their weakness. Under Matt Eberflus, the Cowboys defense looks confused before the snaps, slow after the snaps. That is unacceptable for the team with this much talent. 4 defensive coordinator in 4 years for the Cowboys. This is another big problem. Many fans say 4 defensive coordinator in 4 years is too much. And they are right now, stability matters in the National Football League. But here is a truth that cannot be ignored. Keeping a bad defensive coordinator just for stability is worse than changing coaches. If defensive coordinator is not developing players, not adjusting game plans, and not putting players in position to succeed, then stability becomes stagnation. The Cowboys have stayed loyal to the wrong people before. That cannot happen again. Cowboys report host Tom Donnelly made one request very clear. Brian Schottenheimer must be allowed to conduct a real coaching search. That means not hiring friends. That means no hiring former coworkers just because of the familiarity. That means no rushing the process. The Cowboys must interview multiple candidates. They must challenge ideas. They must ask hard questions. They must choose the best defensive mind, not the safest name. This hire must be about results. What the Cowboys defense needs currently. Before naming a candidate, we must understand what this defense actually needs. The Cowboys need a defensive coordinator who values discipline. They need someone who teaches fundamentals. They need someone who adjusts during the game. Of course, they need someone who maximizes stars and develop roles. This defense has talents, of course. The issues is leadership and executions. The candidates one we have here is Ari Harris, Bears defensive backs coach. Ari Harris is a name Cowboys fans know well. He played for the Dallas and understands the culture. Currently, he is a defensive backs coach for the Chicago Bears. Harris has done strong work developing young defensive backs and teaching aggressive but disciplined coverage. His strength is communication. Players respond to him. He demands accountability. He teaches techniques, not just scheme. The concern with AI Harris is experience. He has never been a defensive coordinator at the National Football League level. However, many great coordinators started as a position coach. If the Cowboys want a leader who understands their locker room, Harris is a serious option. Candidate number 2, we have Kenny Norton Jr., a Commanders linebacker coach. Kenny Norton Jr. brings experience first of all. He has been a defensive coordinator before and understands multiple defensive systems. Currently, he is a linebacker coach for the Washington Commanders. His defenses in the past were aggressive and physical. Norton believes in attacking offenses rather than reacting. That mindset could help a Cowboys defense that often plays too cautiously. The risk with Norton is inconsistency. His past defenses had highs and lows. The Cowboys would need him to bring consistency, not chaos. Candidate number 3, we have Mike Zimmer, former Cowboys defensive coordinator. Mike Zimmer is a familiar name. Cowboys fans know what he brings. Zimmer is experienced, tough, and detail-oriented. His defenses are known for discipline, pressure, and strong red zone performances. The biggest concern is age and adaptability. Can Zimmer adjust the modern offenses? Can he connect with young players? If the Cowboys want immediate structure, experience, Zimmer is a safe option, but safe does not always mean the best. Candidate number 4, we have Aaron White-Cotton, Cowboys defensive line coach. Aaron White-Cotton is already in the building currently. He understands the roster, the culture, and the expectations. He has done solid work with the defensive line, developing players and improving techniques. Promoting from within creates continuity. Players already trust him. However, Cowboys must ask a serious question. Is promoting White-Cotton a bold move, or is it another comfortable move? This decision must be based on ability, not familiarity. We have also candidate number 5, Todd Bowles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach. Todd Bowles is one of the most respected defensive minds in football. If he becomes available, the Cowboys should absolutely call him. Bowles runs aggressive and creates defensive that confuse quarterbacks. He is excellent in squeezing coverage and generating pressure. The challenges is availability. Bowles is currently a head coach, of course. If he becomes available, he would be one of the top options immediately. Why this decision matters so much? This hire is not just about next season, it is about the future. The great defensive coordinator can elevate the average players and turn good players into stars. A bad defensive coordinator wastes talent and shortens championship windows. The Cowboys cannot afford another mistakes. This is the moment for the Cowboys to get seriously. Fire Matt Eberflus, conduct real coaching search, choose leadership over comfort, choose results over relationship. If the Cowboys do this right, the defense can become a strength again. If they do things wrong, will we be having this some conversation next year? Oh my gosh. We remind you to add subscribe and the on Mint for the Leo fans who want to understand what is actually happening behind the scenes. Trevon Diggs arrived in the Dallas Cowboys as a talented young cornerback with elite ball skills. From early in his career, he showed something special. He was not just covering receivers, he was attacking the football. Interception, big plays, momentum-changing moments that become his identity. For a while, Diggs was one of the faces of the Cowboys' defense. Fans trusted him, coach relied on him, opposing quarterbacks feared throwing his way. This is why this situation hurts so much for many fans. This is not a random role player. This is someone who was expected to be a cornerstone of the defense for many years. The problem did not begin during the game. They started during the off-season. During the summer, Trevon Diggs chose to do his injury rehabilitation away from the team facility. The Cowboys did not approve of that decision. As a result, Diggs was fined $500,000 United States dollars. That fine was not just about money. It sent a message. It showed that the relationship between the player and the organization was already under stress. From that point forward, everything Diggs did was viewed through different lenses. In the National Football League, trust is everything. Teams trust players to follow the program. Players trust teams to protect their careers and health. Once that trust breaks, it is extremely difficult to repair. With Diggs, it felt like both sides stopped believing they were fully aligned. The team questioned his decisions. Diggs questioned the team's intentions. This is how small issues turn into a big problem. Early this season, Trevon Diggs was benched. That alone raised eyebrows. Benching a player of his status is not something teams do casually. Soon after, reports of the concussion surfaced. The details were unclear. Fans did not fully understand what happened. Then came the knee injury which continued to limit him. Eventually, Cowboys placed Diggs on injury reserve. At that point, many believed his season was likely over. The Cowboys later opened Diggs' 21-day practice window. This is usually a signal that a player is closer to returning to action, but something strange happened. Diggs practiced, but he was never activated to the active roster. Week after week passed, the window kept shrinking. Questions grew louder. Why open the window if you are not going to activate him? Now, with only few weeks left in the season, the situation has reached to the critical point. If Trevon Diggs is not activated soon, he will be ruled out of the remainder of the year. That means his last snap as a Cowboy may already be behind him. For a player once seen as a future of the defense, that is turn of the events. Multiple reports suggest that the relationship between Trevon Diggs and the Cowboys has been severely damaged. Some even says it has been completely resolved. There have been mixed messages from the team and from the Diggs himself. One side suggests patience, the other suggests frustration. Fans are left trying to read between the lines. Sometimes, no matter how talented a player is, the environment becomes unhealthy. At that point, staying together hurts both sides. For Diggs, a new team could mean a clean slate. New coach, new expectation, a chance to rest his career. For the Dallas, moving on could mean clarity and financial flexibility. The salary cap reality currently. Cowboys cannot ignore the financial side of this situation. Trevon Diggs signed a 5-year contract worth of $97 million United States dollars. That is elite money. Elite money comes with elite expectations. If a player cannot stay on field, the team must reconsider that investment. If Cowboys release or trade Diggs before June 1st, they would save approximately $12.5 million in salary cap space. However, they would also take on nearly $6 million in dead cap money. This option allows Dallas to move quickly, but it is not a deal idea financially. Waiting until after June 1st changes everything. Dallas could save up to the $15.5 million while keeping the dead cap hit under $3 million. This is the smartest financial move. The question is whether Cowboys are willing to wait. The Cowboys may want answer before free agency begins. They may want clarity before the NFL draft. Waiting until June 1st could complicate those plans. This is where strategy came into play. This season, Diggs has played only 6 games. He recovered 18 tackles. He did not record any interception. He did not record any pass breakup. For a player known for creating turnovers, that is alarming. Since signing his massive contract extension, Diggs has played in only 19 of the 43 games. That is not enough. In the National Football League, the best ability is availability. If the Cowboys move on from Diggs, the defense will need answer. Who replaces him? Do they draft a cornerback? Do they sign a veteran? These decisions shape the entire offseason. Fans are emotionally attached to the Diggs, but front office must think logically. This is the hardest part of the building a team. Jerry Jones has never been afraid of big moves. This will be one of the biggest decisions of the off-season. Does he